Hello, my name is Mike, and this is Super Mario. Everyone knows Mario. He's world-renowned. Wahoo! Yee! And this is his brother, Green Mario, as some people know him. That isn't actually his name, but it is what they call him sometimes in the game, making fun of his less popular status. Not quite a main character. And Brian, my brother, gave me Mario. This is my figurine. And this is his, Luigi. And that makes sense. Red was always my favorite color. Green was always his. These are the characters we played when we were playing games together. I was Mario. He was Luigi. But as my younger brother, I wonder if Brian had an affinity for Luigi, who is Mario's younger brother. Because while Mario is the star of many, many games and has had many occupations, from doctor to literally everything else it feels like, Luigi has not had nearly as many games, not been in nearly as many titles of games, and is definitely lesser known than Mario. He also gave me this, Chrono, from the game Chrono Trigger. I think he picked this up at a craft show that he went to, and you can't really buy these in stores. These are, I think, handmade and glued together, so that was a very thoughtful gift from him. And the game does revolve around his story. He finds out about a giant monster that's going to destroy the world, and he goes around to different time periods, recruiting new people, and ultimately, hopefully, saving the day. So Brian gave me this character, and kept this character for himself, and we sat them next to each other on the mantle. This is his character. His name is Frog. He's a frog. So Brian gave me Chrono, because he's got red hair, he's the red character of the group. He's kind of a generic protagonist hero without a whole lot of flaws, much like Mario. He goes to save the princess, which he ultimately does. Doesn't seem to have any signs of doubt or a dilemma of his own to overcome. He's just a noble, righteous hero trying to save the world. By comparison, Frog is filled with a lot of self-doubt, and he doesn't believe he's strong enough to overcome the challenges placed in his path because an evil magician turned him into a frog. This is the magician. His name is Magus. He's blue, which is my brother Robert's favorite color, which may be why Brian gave this to Rob. He's also very moody and antisocial and isolationist, but this is not about Magus. This is about Frog. Over the course of the game, Frog has to overcome his own self-doubt to reaffirm that he is a hero just as good as Chrono is. So once again, this character might just be mine because he's red and that's my color, and this might just be his because it's green and that's his color, or maybe there's more to it than that. But then again, he also gave me a Charizard keychain and kept a Bulbasaur keychain for himself, which are the red and green kind of Pokemon respectively each. There's also a blue one, so that one went to my youngest brother. I suppose that proves that there's really nothing more to it. Charmander is mine because he's red, Bulbasaur is his because he's green, and one is not necessarily better than the other. They are roughly equal in the games. Or are they? You see, while Bulbasaur was one of the original starters and beloved by many, the demand for Charmander and his subsequent evolution Charizard is off the charts, and that's by design. We were all into the Pokemon card game as a kid, and the Pokemon starter deck for the card game came with a bunch of Charmanders, but no Charizard. So if you wanted to use Charmander to the best of your ability, you had to find a Charizard. Everybody starts with Charmander in that card game, and everybody wants Charizard. This inflated the demand for Charizard. The Charizard card for the Pokemon game became highly sought after, especially if it were shiny holographic. The Venusaur, Bulbasaur's evolution, not so much, really. I mean, it was a fun card to have, people liked it, but it was not nearly as in demand. And this ended up propelling Charizard to new heights and bringing Charmander along with him. And Charizard is the only Pokemon that has a Dynamax form and 2 Mega Evolutions. The only Pokemon. That just means that Charizard is a heavy focus on a lot of games, and maybe not so much Bulbasaur and his evolution. When the initial games came out, Charmander was on the box art, Bulbasaur was not on anything, and it wasn't until years later that that changed. For a long time, Bulbasaur just didn't get any screen time. Charizard was also portrayed as being super cool in the anime, as the main protagonist got one, and it spent the entire time disobeying his commands and setting things on fire and flying around and being a really awesome, cool dragon, not dragon type. While Bulbasaur mostly stayed Bulbasaur, and nothing cool happened to Bulbasaur. And sometimes I wonder if Brian felt this way himself. Maybe he felt like he was a supporting character, and other people were more prominent. Maybe he just felt like he was in the background. but if he did feel that way, he never mentioned it. Chrono is the hero of his game, the star of the show. But Frog has growth. Frog has a history. And some would argue that that makes Frog the more interesting of the two characters. Indeed, he does seem to have a lot of fans. Additionally, Luigi has a lot of fans, as does Bulbasaur, and some people prefer these characters over their counterparts. Luigi may not be as well known as Mario, but he is still beloved, and a lot of people like him, not because he has no flaws, but because he fights hard to overcome them. He's got character growth, and that's very appealing, more so than just having a generically perfect character like Mario. Or maybe I'm just being nostalgic, trying to find meaning where there is none, and just remembering the good memories that we have with video games, and there were a lot of those. That's all for now. I'll talk to you again later. Have a good day.